All right, I'm out here at the bees and it's time to feed them again. I've been so confused as to how to feed them all fall, all winter, because everything is changing constantly with the weather. And my hives have, quite substantially different needs. I have a happy hive. They have a double deep, and they seem to have enough honey because they're not taking any food down really quick. Fuzzy nuggets, on the other hand, as you know, are super high strung, and everything I give them, they act like they're starving to death, and they just gulp it down. And so sometimes I've had dry sugar in the rapid rounds, and then if we have a warm few days, I put some sugar water out there, thinking that they can probably use that easier and faster. And then I'll go back to dry sugar, and I've even put some pollen substitute up in the rapid round, which I don't think is ideal, but I'm just being new, and this is my first winter, and the weather's all over the place, and I get different information from different people. It's just been really confusing, and I don't know that the sugar has been it doesn't seem to satisfy them enough, I guess, just the granulated sugar, because they've been out foraging on days that are 35 degrees, and they just seem kind of desperate. So I've been giving them some sugar water whenever I possibly can. Right or wrong, I'm not sure. I also, what is important to know, I guess, is I have screen bottom boards on all my hives. You can see that they're insulated on the sides, and the inner cover is 1 inch thick insulation, and I also have insulation on the outer cover, so the moisture isn't accumulating theoretically on the top of the inner cover and dripping on the bees. And I don't know that there's a whole lot of moisture in there with the side insulation either. Probably mainly dripping down the front because I don't have insulation there. But because it's screen bottom, the condensation's running out the bottom, and I see it collecting on the little tray under there. So I'm not super worried about with the sugar water that there's a lot of moisture buildup in the hives. So I've been a little bit more leaning towards giving that to them when I can. So I'll show you what my setup is. It's a complete mess. So remember, I don't do how-to videos. Mine is just kind of a vlog of my experience as a beginning beekeeper, and what I'm learning, and my failures and triumphs along the way. So when I show you, please don't do what I did. Okay, so we have a bunch of rebels that have escaped out, but that's no surprise. This lid on my rapid round does not fit on snugly because I mismeasured when I had cut the hole. So fuzzy nuggets are constantly out and about here. Pipsqueaks are under this homemade one, and they are never escaping because there's no gaps. But everybody's up here gallivanting around like it's a playground. And this is just a loose cap that I have when I put sugar syrup in there. And because we're having a warm week this week, I'm going to put some syrup up here because I have a sneaky suspicion that Fuzzy Nuggets is probably really hungry. And since I'm not experienced enough to be able to lift a hive and know if they're light or not, because everything seems heavy to me, I'm going to just go ahead and put a bit of syrup in here, I think. I've been putting sugar, and they've taken that down, the dry granulated. But anyway, I'm just hoping that maybe they can pack some inside the cells while it's warmer, and I'm going to try to lift this lid. There is saran wrap I put on here too to try to block the gaps. Obviously that's not working. Ugh, goodness. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Okay, and there's also, I put a bit of I made some homemade pollen patties that I had stuck up here, so that's up here too. Boy, there's a lot going on. This is a real mess. This has gotten worse as the winter's gone on. Okay. Well, I was hoping to be able to just add some syrup. There's so many bees up here. And they all, of course, can escape out underneath that little clear lid that's supposed to keep them all inside. I have a little sock. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Rapid Rounds, but I have a sock that goes over that white insert in there. The bees come up that white tube that goes down in the hive, and then I put a sock around that so that any syrup from the bottom can wick up. And that is a Fred Dunn idea, if you ever watch Fred Dunn's YouTube channel. And it works really well. I think I have one of those Rapid Round feeders on Amazon that isn't quite cut right, because all the bees can crawl underneath this white lid, which makes it really, and if your syrup gets low, they all can crawl right out. So anyway, I had brought out my daughter's bee vacuum to see if I could suck the bees up in this, and then see if I can work it out. She needs to be here, really. Oh, I don't know. I'll probably just make them mad. Did they go in? Well, no. Hang on a minute. Let me figure this out. Okay, that was operator mom error. If she had been here, she would have told me I had assembled it wrong. So, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can vacuum these up in here. Kind of is working. We got some in there. I don't know how you get them out. I don't know if that's part of the plan, really. Let's see. Let me just go like that. Okay. This may just not be the best one. All right. Well, all right. Let's see. All right, we'll go let them crawl up here. I don't think that's made for collecting mass bees. Let's see. All right, well, what I may do is just start pouring syrup, and then they'll climb out, hopefully. Yeah, so this is definitely something that needs some improvement. I may need to see if I can find some different Rapid Round feeders, because this is a real pain. Okay. All right. No, these guys are always seeming so dang hungry compared to the other hives. I can't even ever keep up. Okay, now I'm gonna have to fish a bunch of them out, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I got everybody fuzzy nuggets, got all those bees vacuumed up, and I put them over by the hive, and they're going in. And I was gonna show you really quick. This is pipsqueaks under there. So I just use like a regular kind of cake pan. A couple of bees I need to scoop out. I used a cake pan, and then they come up that center part, and then this is just a Gatorade bottle that has these are bee-sized, perfect little shapes. It allows a bee to pass through. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, there's a sock, a kid's sock that goes around the metal part of the jelly pan, or whatever you call it, donut pan or something. And then I put this Gatorade bottle on so they can climb up in there, and they can drink off the top of that sock if they want. I guess I didn't get all these out here. Come on, out you go. It's like herding cats. Come on. Gosh, I need to get this lid on. Okay, all right, so, and then this is just some random lids I had that kind of hold everything in, keeps the heat in and everything. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Basically, so what I was going to show you, so this is Pipsqueak's feeder. They're on this side here with the divider board in the middle. Fuzzy Nuggets are here, and this is their feeder. Wow, look at that caterpillar. Holy cow, that's bright. Beautiful. I was really hoping that I would get out here and could finish painting Pipsqueak's, or Fuzzy Nuggets brood box here. I don't know if I'd mentioned this, but I had to make the split so fast because the swarm cells were capped that I threw everybody in here, slapped on some paint, and as I was painting the outside, I kept dripping paint on the bees that were coming and going, so I never finished painting around their entrance. So I promised myself when the weather was nice and cold, I would come out here and paint, and we haven't had cold weather until the last couple weeks, and then I haven't felt like being out here to paint. So lazy me. Before I know it, it's gonna be springtime again, and I'm still not gonna have this box painted. Oh, but look at that pollen. Wow. There's some bright, I just saw some bright orange pollen. Maybe that's dandelion I've heard about. Hey there. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put some syrup on Happy Hive as well. All right, here's Happy Hive. Same thing, I have leaves, and I have insulation under the inner cover, and then leaves on tops, and then I have insulation also on the outer cover. So you get it's quite toasty up here, really. They are much better behaved. They hardly ever escape into this, but I gave them a little bit of syrup yesterday, and they're obviously content with that, and they're just kind of drinking it off the sock there. I'm gonna go ahead and add some more because it looks like it's low again. And then the pollen patty, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to disassemble the boxes and put the pollen patties up there. So when everybody was wandering up here yesterday, I thought maybe they'd come up and get it, but they obviously don't really need it. They had been bringing pollen in like all of November and December, quite solid. So hopefully they're all good on that. But I might put out some dry pollen out for the foragers today, since everybody's out and about.